Hey guys, so just wrapping up the editing on the video you're watching right now and getting ready to post it. And honestly, I was pretty reluctant about posting this video because it's pretty embarrassing. It's not something you really want the whole world to see, but at the end of the day, we want to not just show the highlights, but the lowlights, because I feel like that's pretty real and it happens to everybody. And you know, it's the overall theme is, what do you do when you fail or you mess up? Cheeto, you know?
Yeah. Well, to me, your failures aren't final. So I think you just have to get back at it, keep going, don't give up, just trust in the Lord and His process and what it looks like.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's the biggest takeaway is that we all mess up and we all make mistakes, but it's how you get back up and how you handle yourself and how you conduct and what you learn from those mistakes. So, anyways, enjoy the video.
Why do we do Suburban Bowhunter?
What? Why are you asking me that? It started off as just me wanting to post stuff and cool experiences I had in the woods, and it's kind of turned into something people started to pay attention to, and now it's not as much about hunting as it is about family and friends and our walk with the Lord and our relationships. Some people have way more success. I mean, you want to see people having tons of success, there's lots of content out there to satisfy that need. If you want to see guys who try to live right, try our best to do right by the Lord, by our families, by our friends, that's what we're about. And sometimes you're going to see us mess up. And just this season, 2 days in a row, should have had really a double on two really big, fantastic whitetails. And about to roll the video on the second fail. The first fail was on a deer called Groot, and I want to tell that story in its entirety, hopefully with a good conclusion. This one, unfortunately, does not look like it's going to end well. But anyway, that's what we're about, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Okay, so when I came in to this spot, the lease is running out, so there wasn't much time, and there was a really nice buck that was showing up consistently in daylight, and I didn't have a stand or anything like that put up, so it was a great wind. This is a big ridge top we're standing on right here, and the deer traveled from that way coming this way, and I was able to enter from that direction with a good wind. So I came in, tiptoed in here, got set up right here next to this pine where I could sit right here, and I had this little little small compact umbrella that opens up that I could fit in my backpack to help kind of cover my camera and cover my setup right here. And so I cleared out this little area right here and I set it up, got nice and comfortable. And what I should have done, if I could go back, was really rake out this whole area down to the dirt. But the deer was on camera an hour before I came in, so I thought he might be bedded like anywhere right here. So I didn't want to make too much noise, and it was just so quiet and crunchy that day. But if I would have taken the time anyway, so I kind of rushed the setup. But I got comfortable, and I've got a really good shooting lane here and a really good shooting lane here. And the deer came right down the road and was walking right into my shooting lane here. And right before he popped into the open, I went to draw, and when I had to draw so slow because he's at 7-9 yards at this point from me, and it's a big mature buck, and he's coming in, about to get into my gap, and I open the bow, and it kind of gives on me a little bit because I'm trying to do it so slow, and then I make noise kind of as I'm accidentally, and he freezes in before he gets to my gap. I get drawn and I hold for what looks like forever. You'll see in the video. and he gets spooky and he kind of blows, and then he runs down the road. And I try to stand up to get over this stuff, but as I'm standing, my broadhead gets hung up on all this stuff. The umbrella gets knocked around. It's a cluster, an absolute cluster. But the buck is running from me when all this happens. So I'm trying to get up over this stuff to get a shot, but there's no shot here. He stops and then turns around and starts to come back, and he puts his head down, and I get back down behind my blind. He comes right back in, he stops right here, but at this point he's stomping his foot, and he's super alert. And he gets into this gap, barely. Again right here, and I have to squeeze it through the tiniest little gap. But I have a shot, or I thought I did. I let the arrow go and it hits a sapling right here. It makes a really weird sound. And it sounded like there's a bunch of rocks. This whole place is full of these rock outcroppings. So I thought that's what it was. I thought I hit a rock. And the deer bounds off, tail up, stands, blows, goes down over the hill, is blowing, and to me it just was a clean miss. It's as clean as it could be. I thought it hit the limb, it just went and hit a rock. So I looked around a little bit over there for blood that evening, and some was going down. Left, and we came back, looked all around, couldn't find any blood, nothing. Ended up finding the arrow right where he went over the ridge, and it was covered in blood. It hit the deer. Anyway, unfortunately we weren't able to recover him, hoping he's still alive. But a couple lessons from all that. First, prepare your setup. Take the time, whatever it takes. Prepare your setup. I did not prepare my setup the way I should have. Second, be super patient when you draw. When you're gonna draw, be ready to shoot. I should have waited till he got in the opening, then drawn. If I made noise, he would have froze in the opening instead of stopping just short of my opening. And third, always find your arrow. Immediately, find your arrow. Whether you think it's a clean miss or not. Unless you see the arrow clearly miss the deer, don't trust a sound, none of that. Find your arrow and then go from there. Anyway, we've all done this as hunters. I'm sure you guys can feel what I'm feeling right now. It sucks, but hopefully he's still alive. Pray about it. And anyway, so sad. We've done everything we can to try to find this deer. This is my third or fourth time I came out here walking this place. We've walked every square inch of it from one end to the other. Hopefully the deer's still alive. I mean, at this point it's a needle in a haystack, but on this particular track the lease runs out, so this is the last day I would even have an opportunity to search. No blood, nothing. So maybe he's alive. I don't know. I hate it. I hate every bit of that, but That's deer hunting. If you've ever archery hunted for any period of time, then you know what I'm going through right now. You've lost a deer at some point, I'm sure. But it still sucks. It's a beautiful deer. Hopefully he's alive, right, Cheeto?
That's right. I feel like he is. We'll see. Yeah.
Maybe
Hopefully so.
All right, guys.